So, like I said, even though I had to break this up into two parts, like I said, everybody that's had seen the baby's photo already for over 5 months, going back 11 months to the very first photo of when she was only 10 days old. What content creators did not do was actually take that photo, uncensored, her whole entire face, and put it out in content. People could have done that. Lots of people could have done that. Like I said in part 1, you see from Bree's own panel, she's arguing with the creator that Kristy leaked it to, okay? The T page with T shows a panel that Kristy had been on, saying she's not going to talk ill about that creator, that she's just not going to do it, that a lesson had been learned, that she had been infiltrated. No, doesn't matter. She was fully aware this person did not support Gypsy Rose Blanchard, did not stand for her, was not a part of her community. And either which way, she still unprovoked sent the photos. Okay? What that person then did with them, whether it was sent to one person or if Bree is correct when she says it was sent to two. I have a whole separate video of a whole different panel of people saying whoever Madison and all these other people are, because some people are blaming Dreamer, some people are blaming somebody named Madison. They admit that they had it, that they got it from the person that Kristy had gotten it from. True or not, I don't know. But that's why I said I don't know none of those people, and I owe absolutely no loyalty or ask history or placating or anything to anybody. The fact is, though, out of all the people that have privately gotten it, they did not put it out in content. And that is the entire point. But this all comes back to one thing only, and that's it, and that is Kristy Blanchard. Kristy Blanchard made the choice to leak photos of Baby Aurora more than one time. This is not the first time she's done it, and it's not the last. So, in part 1 and part 2, I'm just simply talking about my thoughts about all this. I don't know who Mindy is. I've never even heard of Mindy. The only Mindy or Mimi or whatever her name is, something Mindy Lou, is the same lady that had supported Cajun Navy Jen in scamming, lying to, conning, and inserting herself in a true crime anti-gypsy community. Trying to elicit $12,000 for a billboard, trying to elicit $7,000 for a billboard, trying to take over $2,200 for a $1,200 billboard, collecting donations for a Nicholas Godejohn rally in 2024, which never occurred on October 18th of 2024. The same person who also was lying about running an entire nurse agency, is not a registered nurse, is not the executive director with the United Cajun Navy, because I myself confirmed that when I reached out to the real executive director of the United Cajun Navy, as well as their CEO, not the former CEO that got arrested for lying, scamming, embezzling money, wire fraud, all of that stuff. But the fact that I could go back 11 years on Facebook and see that Cajun Navy Jen was doing the same exact thing. Yeah, that person was associated with her, and I'm not surprised that she's taking what Mandy Islands posted uncensored with Gypsy's baby, the picture, like uncensored, taking it and doing the same thing, posting it uncensored. But that right there should be a warning. The same thing with Adaptive Kate, the same thing with the Cajun grandmother that became friends with Kristy and died from cancer in 2024. The same thing with that whoever Cooper lady, Katie Joy Polson, all these people that are true crime creators who ended up talking about Gypsy Rose Blanchard and then all of a sudden became friends with Gypsy or Kristy or somebody in their camp. And not just talking about Adaptive Kate, Ivory Rose Grows Wild, talking about Sweet as Honey now is the newest one to switch sides. But like I said, she came out of nowhere. She was saying that she was being doxxed, harassed, slandered, stalked by Gypsy Rose Blanchard all the time. And now you're on a panel with her best friend. Now you're talking to them. Oh, okay, yeah, didn't happen. Why? Because those are people that are just concerned with the clout, with the TikTok, social media clout, attention, followers, views, whatever the hell it is. I don't know. You know, and then there are real people that have really come forward that used to be friends with Gypsy. Nadatha, also Rachel Garlick. And there's been a lot of people that have ran GoFundMes for themselves or their family, or used the community to get donations. Now, Rachel Garlick was honest in saying that she wanted to send her son Jojo to camp. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with her legitimately saying, this is what I have, I'm going to sell it, period. Here, get donations for that. I was always like, yeah, why not? She's being honest. And that's what you're supposed to do. When you're on GoFundMe and you say, I need $1,200 to get a new car or to get my car fixed. And you take $1,100 to go get your car fixed, and you take another $100 in donations and go do something else with it, like get your hair and your nails done. That's being dishonest. That's actually against the policies of GoFundMe, right? We've seen a lot of people come out of nowhere with their own ulterior motives when it comes to Gypsyroseblanchard. Why? I don't know. Maybe it's just because her case gets a lot of attention, gets a lot of views and clicks. But as of January 19th of 2025, everybody that's a year and a half late, especially on TikTok, it's not getting that kind of viewership anymore. Why? Because Gypsyroseblanchard's 15 minutes of fame have long been over and done. People were tired of her the moment she cheated on her husband. Okay, the viewership from there went down. It was surprising that the CEO of the A&E network, which owns Lifetime, even okayed and greenlit a season 2, because her viewership went from, even some of the episodes was 1.2 million people watching them, to she had a baby. She had a whole baby, and not even 250,000 people are watching the episode and subsequent to that. Why? Because nobody was interested in her having a baby while she's married to somebody, but out of wedlock with somebody else. Okay, the whole drama was too real life and too messy for people. They're not interested in it. The only people that we're watching were the people that don't like her. And we're really watching to either cover it, commentary, reaction, and of course, all of her lies, the 24 cases of young teens or adults that have taken the lives or tried to take the life of their mother, their stepmother, father, stepfather, or both parents, since Gypsy was released on December 28th of 2023. That's a pretty big motive for the A&E network, Hulu, Disney Plus, any social media to not work with Gypsy Rose, because she is inadvertently, whether she means to be or not, she is a bad and negative influence on teens and young adults, because they think all they have to do is what she did. But this time they'll stage it better and they'll get away with it, and they'll get the attention, they'll get the clout that she got. And that is a pretty big motive in today's day and age, because, you know, in the last 10, 15 years, a lot of kids aspire to be gamers, YouTubers, content creators. Unfortunately, they don't know that you don't just have one video go viral one time and then boom, you have millions of followers. It takes a lot of organic growth and a lot of hard work. A lot of hard work every single day, a lot of consistency. And you're talking more than just a 9-to-5, 40-hour-a-week job. Yeah, you're talking probably triple that, if I would have to make a guess for myself. So I can see why the A&E network, the CEO, would drop, not give her a season 3, because people just, the interest was just not there. And people were tired and done and over her shenanigans and the drama and the gaslighting and the Darvo of society and the just manipulation. It's all about control. And the thing is that she doesn't realize that all of that has just exposed her for the sociopath that she truly is. And she wants to have control because she can show everything about her baby. She can show 8 billion people, all the offenders and pedophiles in the world. She can show them Aurora's entire bedroom, every single outfit she has in her closet, every single toy, the size diapers that she wears, her entire layout of her kitchen, her house, her living room, the side door where she lets Parker in and out of, everything. The stroller that she's often in, the car seat, the car that she drives, the car that Ken drives, the church that they're affiliated with, the Walmart that's right by it, the Target that she goes to. Yeah, she can tell everybody all of that information except for this little bit of her face. Why? Because it's about control. And I can tell you now that with her baby is cute, but a baby is a baby. She's not like this beautiful doll baby. I mean, all babies are cute in their own way, but they're all different. You know, a baby is a baby. Babies all kind of look generic, especially at a year old. They're all kind of chubby. They either have brown eyes, blue eyes, or You know, their noses are not prominent yet. They all have little button noses. They have little mouths. They have little chubby cheeks. They're like little chipmunks or little squirrels. And some of them have blonde hair. Some of them have curly hair. Some of them have dark hair. But a baby is a baby. So it's not like anybody is missing anything by not seeing it. So if it's just people being curious, whatever. But the photos have been passed around. So my whole thing, though, is that I'm just not okay with people. I mean, just be careful. I'm not going to tell you who to follow, who to believe, who to watch, what to do. But anybody that would do that is not worth it. Okay? Because they're engaging in the same kind of negative and bad behavior that Gypsyroseblanchard herself always engages in. The same exact behavior that got her so entitled that she can kill her mom, lie on Nick, make false sexual abuse allegations against another inmate in prison, which she also had to recant and admit that she lied about. Never answer the question for why she was a full-grown adult pretending to be a mentally disabled child, because her mom wasn't making her do that. She was doing that. Never answered the question why she was walking behind closed doors all the time, because her leg muscles never atrophied. She never lost any of her muscle mass, and she would have had she not been mobile in any kind of way, shape, or form. So, you know, for her, it's just all about control. But that's on them. That's on their camp to take responsibility for. However, Mandy Islands and Mindy Lou, whatever her name is, all the people that are sharing what Mandy Islands has shared already publicly, those people, not in my community. I don't follow those people. I don't talk to those people. I don't know those people. I'm not associated with those people. And I want fucking nothing to do with it. Because if you are doing that, you have no place in my community, no place here whatsoever in any way, shape, or form. Because I don't care. Gypsy can fuck off. Her stepmom can fuck off. I don't give a shit. But that baby is a different story. She's off limits. She is an innocent child. Whether you believe she's Gypsy's baby or not, it doesn't make it okay for people to put her face out there. She's not in the public domain. It would be different if Gypsy was posting her face. And until she does that, it's not okay for other people to take private videos or pictures that were taken by Gypsy and Kristy, shared by them, leaked by them, and make them public. And all it does is also make a mockery of people that really are in true crime, people that are really hardworking content creators. It makes a mockery of them because it's also labeling a whole community as one whole side, and everybody that's on this side is guilty of doing this thing. And I am putting my foot down, and I'm going to talk about it, and I'm going to make it very known to everybody right now that I don't condone that kind of behavior. And good thing for Pink Chihuahua. Kudos to Sparky, kudos to Beverly Marsh, even Prison Princess, I think her TikTok username is, have all said the same thing. Okay? They don't condone it either. And good for them for standing up to the bullies and the people that are wrong and saying, no, you don't belong here. You have no place here. Doing this kind of thing. I don't care. I don't care. And it's hypocritical to sit there and talk about the prescription pad and all of that stuff being illegal, but you just doxed a baby's face. And look it up. Yes, it is. So let's go over this really quick. If you share a baby's photo who has never been put in the public domain, okay, she has never been put in the public domain, her face, okay, fully, uncensored, and somebody else takes that photo and puts it in the public domain on the internet, uncensored, is that doxing? That technically is constituting as a form of doxing, because that baby has not been put in the public domain uncensored by its parents, legally speaking, in any way, shape, or form. So therefore other people don't have the permission or the consent to do that. Now, it might not be considered doxing in the standard typical sense that everybody thinks of it as. Sharing a baby's photo online that has never been made public raises important privacy, legal, and ethical considerations, though it is generally not legally classified as doxing in the same strict criminal sense. It is technically publishing private, identifying, or sensitive information, especially about a minor child who has human, basic, legal, civil, constitutional rights, according to the law. As an American citizen, she is deserving of protection. Whether you like Gypsy or not is irrelevant. That's despite and regardless of the fact. Okay, same way that her mother had rights, the same way that Nick has rights, the same way that Stephanie Goldhammer, his mother, had rights as a human being. And it was not okay for Gypsy to just infringe on their right to life, their right to their privacy, their safety. In the most egregious way. Okay, it's not our right to do this to a baby, mine, anybody else's. And that's pretty collective with real creators, real people that are into true crime, real people that are just truth and fact and are just here for the truth, you know. It says here, baby photos by themselves do not directly include things like home addresses, contact information, or other identifying data. But showing her face does show identifying data for, you know, a public figure or somebody that is infamous, especially somebody who is infamous for something negative, for a negative reason, known for a negative reason, like killing somebody. You know, that already puts her baby at a grave disadvantage because people could target her simply for the fact that Gypsy is her mom. So identifying her face and her features are identifying data in and of itself. Okay, but the risk arises if the image can be linked to identifying details also, like backyard, hospital markers, addresses, her room, you know, her house, her stroller, her car, where she goes to Walmart at, the church that they go to, the things that Gypsy has posted, which I have tried to appeal to her in my, 3-4 videos ago to please stop doing that, because you're giving offenders, anybody, just one person, just one stalker is all it takes. You're giving them all that information. Legal perspective. Now it says that there are federal regulations like the Children's Online Privacy Protection Act. That is an invasion of privacy, even if you don't intend to cause emotional distress or misuse of a minor's image. That's not your baby to do that. And anybody who's curious and goes and looks, fine. But the fact that you condone or justify that, and I see you in the comments of every single one of her videos, leaving her hearts, encouraging her to keep posting 7 more videos of Gypsy's baby uncensored, is beyond me, because it's unnecessary. And it's not only unnecessary, but it's not okay to do that to Aurora, despite and regardless what you feel or think about Gypsy Rose Blanchard. And that's just where I stand on it, and I'm going to talk about it. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks. I am going to talk about it. I don't like the messy drama. I don't like the bullshit. I don't like all of this, and I'm going to cover it. But yeah, I can tell you for a fact those pictures went around 5 months ago. A picture of Aurora went around 10 days after she was born. People have never shared it, never put it on there publicly until Mimi, Mindy, whatever her name is, and Mandy Islands over on TikTok, and all these other burner accounts or fake accounts that are sharing it. Shame on you, because you are participating in that negative and bad behavior the same way that everybody that condones what Gypsy did is participating in her bad behavior, her lies, her gaslighting, her manipulation, all of it. And it's just on a basic human level not okay to do this to a baby. Whether you believe she has a baby or not, there really is a baby. Is it her baby? I don't know. I didn't watch her give birth. But like I'm saying, it's just not okay to put her picture out there. Even though it's already gone around privately, that's irrelevant. Nobody chose to post it. And it also gives Gypsy and her stepmom something I think they both wanted. They both want to play victim and say, look, the anti-Gypsy content creators, look what they're doing to us. They're victimizing her by putting her baby online. You're just giving her more fuel, and it doesn't matter if somebody didn't have the intent. She was warned in her first video to please stop and to please take it down, and she made 6 more. And then she went on to defend it. She went on to double down. She went on to even be proud of herself for it. And I've seen all the people that are on the comments of every single one of those videos telling her to please stop, please don't do this, please take down. It would have been different if she took it down and said, hey, I didn't think about that. I didn't even think about censoring the baby's photo. I'm sorry. You know, that would have been different. But this person doesn't care. They're up, and their whole page is all obsessive over the baby. So that right there is showing that you already have a bias against that baby for some reason, and that you have some kind of weird obsession with the baby in and of itself. It wouldn't be hard for her to prove that that person is obsessed with Gypsy's baby for whatever reason. Because look at all of her content. Go scroll down her entire page and look. So I'm not surprised that the first time she gets an old photo from 5 months ago, she's there posting it. And I don't even know who the person is. That's the scariest part. I don't know who the person is. Nobody knows who that person really is. But just sharing it, not okay. Not okay. I want to do that to my enemy. I want to, Gypsyroseblanchard might be a piece of shit, but I'm not. You're not. The person who it was leaked to is not. All the people that have gotten it shared to them in the last 5 months is not, and did not choose to do that. So that's just my point. And I wanted to share the clips so you guys can understand a fuller context of what Bree said months ago, what Kristy said months ago, what the person who had gotten them given to them by Kristy said months ago, and then what a whole bunch of people said yesterday and today. And if you want to see the entire video, go check out Pink Chihuahua, because she has an entire video with the whole life, with all of the people admitting that they had the same pictures for months that I've seen, that other people have seen. But like I said, this is not the first time. Kristy clearly leaked a photo she had taken of Ken and Gypsy about 10 days after Aurora was born. Because clearly somebody like Kristy was taking the picture. So it, from my understanding, had to be Kristy. Who it was leaked to, I don't know. But I know I seen it. And I know that at the time she did very much look like Dee Dee, because she had the dark hair like her. Yeah. So this all comes back to one thing, Kristy and Gypsy. If they don't want people ever showing a picture of the baby, well, they shouldn't have been fighting over selling the first pictures of the baby. And Gypsy gets mad because it's a control thing for Gypsy. That's it. It's the only thing she has to hold on to. It's not even that big of a deal. It really isn't. It's a baby. It's a baby. Most babies generically all kind of look the same until they get a little bit older and their features start to become prominent. But with her and Kristy, it's as simple as not taking pictures of her and not sharing them. Whether it's Dreamer or Bree and their friends, or if it's with people that are anti-Gypsy content creators. It comes back to their choice to take pictures and their choice to share them. Their choice not to protect them. But that also goes back to her behavior. Her controlling behavior. And like I said, sociopaths and psychopaths, they work like that. Like, look at Jeffrey Epstein, and look at the model that had been linked to Jeffrey Epstein in France, who took his own life because of the sexual assault charges that were against him for minors. Jeffrey Epstein finally having to face his victims, having to face the consequences for his actions for years and years and years. Over 300 young girls harmed by him. And what does he do? Instead of facing justice, instead of saying sorry, instead of taking accountability or pleading guilty and trying to right his wrongs or anything. Nope. It's, F you. I'm going to deprive you of justice. I'm going to deprive you of the privilege of having me in your courtroom. I'm going to deprive you of seeing me be found guilty or plead guilty. And I'm going to end it now, and I'm going to take my own life. And that is always a last ditch effort to control. That's what it is. And that's exactly what Gypsy is exhibiting right now with her baby and the baby's picture. But if you think for 1 second she doesn't know that people have had or shared that picture, you're dead wrong, because her own stepmother admits to leaking photos. But it's not the first time. This happened literally right after New Year of 2025, when baby Aurora was not even 10 days old. The first photo of her went around. It wasn't shared publicly uncensored, though. And that is the key difference. So I just want everybody to keep that in mind. I also have another video I want you guys to watch, kind of like a part 3. I want you guys to see some of the things that some of these, I don't even know any of these people, but some of these people have been accused of leaking the photo when it really wasn't her. It was really said to really be Dreamer. I don't know. I don't know if it's really Dreamer's account. Dreamer has like 20 different accounts. I looked it up, all with the same picture. Have a seat, have a seat, have a seat 1, have a seat 2, have a seat 3. There's have a seat period 5, which was allegedly the account that leaked them to Mandy Islands. And the problem with that is nobody can verify or corroborate if that really is Dreamer, because all those other accounts are spoof accounts where somebody took her content and put it on this account, copied her username, copied her picture, and copied her content, and literally made it look like it really was Dreamer's page. Anytime she uploads a new video, they grab it, they post it. So you don't know if that's really Dreamer's page or not unless she goes live and you see her face and she's talking to people. But the whole thing is there's so many different Dreamer accounts. There's so many different Have a Seat accounts with her same picture and name. There's so many different Dreamer Craft Corner, which used to be her username accounts with the same thing with pictures and all her videos. And there's no way of telling who's really behind that account, if it was really Dreamer or not. But somebody else named Madison has been blamed for it. I want you guys to watch the other video because you kind of get a better sense of the fact that they have had them same pictures, like I've told you. Like I've told you. They've had them for months. And that they did get them. And it wasn't just other people, this one person who got them. No, other people have had them. Which means that they were shared with more than one person, or Kristy was leaking them to more than one person to try to cover her ass and blame it on one person. But that's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is that I'm not okay, and I don't justify or condone anybody sharing it uncensored on TikTok, on YouTube, what have you. And I would really hope that the people that are in my community would understand where I'm coming from and feel the same way. That's all I have to say about that. So thank you for watching part 2. I love you. Have a great night. I hope you all have a great weekend, and I will see you all on the flip side.